2020 has been no ordinary year for any of us, and together we've done everything we can to keep each other and those who rely on us safe, but it's not been easy. Coronavirus had an immediate and major impact on our lives and on our services, and it meant that we had to change and continue to change the ways we work, and for quite a few months we had to suspend some of our activities and services. But rather than introduce the uncertainty of redundancy or the furlough scheme, we were able to redeploy staff to services that were still open. We recognise this was a challenge, asking our colleagues to not only deal and contend with COVID, but to engage in new services, to adapt to new ways of working and to get to know new people who they served and new colleagues. I want to thank each of you affected by the redeployment for embracing the challenge and adapting to your new services and contributing. And although redeployment has been extremely stressful, there have also been plenty positives, with staff providing accounts of how they've made new friendships, how they've learned new skills, how they've shared their own skills and built upon ideas and innovation. The majority of our staff and colleagues who haven't been redeployed also stepped up to the challenge of COVID. It's apparent that you found solutions to the problems in front of you. For instance, creating staff carpools within your bubbles to minimise the amount of people using public transport, reconfiguring some of your shifts to ensure that there was a reduction in footfall across services, and adapting to the new enhanced infection control measures. And when I think about care, I often see it as a hands-on job, and I know that's a lot harder when you're wearing PPE, and in the day-to-dayness of supporting and caring for people, you have to, in the back of your mind, always have the issues and the practices associated with social distancing. Yet it's very clear that our services are not just keeping people safe, but they are connecting and addressing and supporting the emotional needs of people. So that's why in the run-up to Christmas I'll be writing to each of you personally to thank you for going above and beyond. We're giving each of our colleagues a £50 voucher from Love to Shop, and at the risk of sounding a bit markety here, the voucher can be redeemed in store or online and used across a large number of high street retailers. And this is completely separate from the Scottish Government's own recognition package. And in that regard, we are continuing to communicate with Unison, our trade union partner, to keep an eye on the developments around the Scottish Government one-off payment. And as soon as we know how that's being made available to you, we will let you know. Thanks also to everyone who took the time to fill out the COVID Pulse survey for staff. Many of you spoke about the concerns, particularly at the start of COVID, in relation to access to some of the PPE that you needed. No staff member should feel that they're putting their job before their personal safety. So, learning from this, we are now taking steps to have improved stocks available in every service, including enhanced PPE. We may not need to use it, but this way we'll be ready for another surge if that happens. And the virus has affected directly many of us. Our loved ones, our staff have been affected, and indirectly it affects us all. We've all had to adapt to having limited freedoms, which in turn has had an impact on our workforce's mental health. So through programmes like the Quell and COVID Well, we've tried to offer everyone as much support as we can. We're also offering free antibody testing to those in certain vulnerable groups and anybody who has been shielding, with over 40 staff tested so far. So if you feel that you are in one of those groups, please email Natalie McLaughlin, who can give you more information. It was great to hear the positive feedback about the COVID Well programme in particular. And as part of the course, I've been taking vitamin D and omega-3 supplements for the last 6 months, and I feel anyhow that it has increased my resilience. I've not had the usual colds that I would normally have. If you would like the vitamins that we're making available, if you email Angela.hamer, she'll post them out to you. This year has been challenging, but there have been some silver linings too. Within services, we've learned how to make the most of technology, using FaceTime and Zoom to make sure those we support do see the faces of their loved ones and remain connected. We've even got a shiny new website, and our social media channels are full of great stories from across the organisation. The Mungo Foundation has been relatively unscathed so far compared to other organisations and providers in the health and social care sector. We don't want to speak too soon, and the virus is still out there, but the success that we have had is thanks to all of you taking the precautions seriously and putting the safety of those we support and your colleagues first. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you all again for all your hard work this year, and from myself and the rest of the senior management team, I'd like to wish you and your loved ones a happy and safe Christmas. Thank you.